Call on the party.
The Cut, brought to you by Flow.
You can open a Sagicor Bank savings account from anywhere. Go online and open yours today.
The time by Sagicor Bank is
7 o'clock.
CVM News at 7 Wednesday, courtesy of
Your Love Lives On with life insurance from Sagicor.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, claims and counterclaims over alleged CRH mold infestation. School community mourns death of 4-year-old. Fiery protest in Grand Span following fatal shooting. In the business report, PIOJ review of economic performance for January to March 2025. And in sports, spotlight on Cavalier for JPL Super Final. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7. It's Wednesday, May 21, 2025. I'm Nika Lewis. Thank you so much for joining us. We begin on a sad note. A cloud of sorrow hangs over a Mandeville school today as heartbreak ripples through the school community following the tragic and untimely death of 4-year-old Giea Grinnel. More in this report from Angella Melville.
Heartbreak in Manchester as the Yabnel International Preparatory and Care Centre mourns the tragic death of one of their youngest students. 4-year-old Giea Grinnel was fatally shot at home Tuesday night in circumstances that left her school community in shock. Head of the kindergarten department, Stacy-Ann Griffiths, says the school staff is devastated.
All staff members, including children and everyone, we are in distraught. We are sad. We did not expect this. We are really trying to cope here at Yabnel to lose such a vibrant, bubbly, smart, intelligent girl.
Her teacher, Karen Jarrett, could not find words. However, Principal Deirdre Watt Christie described her disbelief, especially in Child Month.
I loved Giea. She was dear to our hearts, and it's still unreal for me, surreal. I still can't imagine that she's not here with us. This morning when I reached out and I heard that she was removed to the morgue, I understood that she was really gone. This is going to take a long time to recover from.
The 4-year-old student is described as one filled with potential.
She was a sweetheart. Any room that she walked into, she changed the atmosphere of that room. She was just the light in any space that she entered. She was very intelligent. She was reading at 4 very well. Her cognitive skills were just very developed for her age.
Principal Christie says the Ministry of Education visited the school, but Dean of Discipline Rajni Myers is calling for more.
We like some prayer this time for the Yabnel family, especially for the immediate family of Giea. It's rough. There are no words, really and truly. The pain we're all feeling right now. It's really a tragedy.
Young Giea was rushed to hospital following the discovery, but she did not survive. Angella Melville, CVM News.
Tensions ran high in Grand Span on Wednesday morning after a man known as Sixx was fatally shot by the police during what authorities call an operation in the community. In response, angry residents lit fires and used debris to block roads, claiming the man was murdered by lawmen. The Constabulary's communications network confirmed the shooting but has not released further details. The Independent Commission of Investigations is expected to probe the incident.
There was a police operation this morning that resulted in the fatal shooting of one male and the recovery of a firearm. Somehow, persons have taken to the street wee hours after. But one thing I must say, that the roadway must stay clear. It will stay clear. We are enforcing that just now. As it is now, the area is relatively calm, and we are going to ensure that it remains like this.
Meanwhile, PNP caretaker candidate for Northeast St. Andrews, Stacey Knight, visited the community and expressed concern about the incident. In a statement, she said the police have, quote, my support in fighting crime, but I am troubled by this particular shooting, especially since the deceased was reportedly in police custody just last week. She also pointed to the lack of body-worn camera footage and urged continued investigation while acknowledging efforts by police to restore calm. Residents say they want justice. Police maintain the situation is under control while the nation waits on Indicom's findings. Police Inspector Bertlin Lloyd warns vendors and parents against the provision of imitation guns to students. These weapons in schools in Manchester are there's been an alarm at the number of weapons in schools in the possession of students. So the police have been visiting Manchester-based schools for their respective career day activities, which is where they've noticed these weapons. Inspector Lloyd warns against the purchase.
If persons are caught selling these weapons, they will be arrested and charged.
Inspector Bertlin Lloyd of the JCF's Manchester Community Safety and Security Branch shares that schools are concerned about children possessing imitation guns. The police have been visiting schools across the parish for career day activities. However, the inspector reports that upon their arrival to the institutions, they quickly became aware of the vast number of imitation guns available to the students.
Having gone to a number of schools, we have realized that the parents who have their children showcasing the career of police and soldiers, they have embarked on buying some imitation firearms, which of course looks like real firearms, and are giving these children to take as part of the paraphernalia of the police and soldiers to these career days activities.
Inspector Lloyd highlighted to our news team that many people can hardly differentiate these imitation firearms from the real ones. While the children are using them to represent their aspirations of becoming law enforcers, the possession of these false guns can be considered a criminal offense.
I will implore the school administrators to encourage the parents to desist from purchasing these imitation weapons and allowing the children to take them to schools.
She says the police will continue to actively monitor schools to ensure imitation guns are confiscated from students. Adrian Williams reporting for CVM News.
Commuters traversing an open lot in front of the Tarrant Primary School in Kingston are feeling a little safer as the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation led a cleanup effort in its environs. Adrian Williams tells us how the effort is making a difference in the space.
Residents and administrators of nearby education institutions are feeling some sense of relief following the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation KSAMC's recent debushing and clearing of solid waste from a surrounding open lot by the Tarrant Primary School. One resident explains the previous state of the lot has been causing much havoc, threatening the safety of those using the area, especially children.
Sometimes them hold up people like this area sometimes. Understand? But you find that the children from the school walk through here, most of the time the parents go up with them.
She looks forward to the lot being cleaned up, though it remains extremely dark at nights.
Like when it's cleaned up, I think, people will feel more safe when it's been cleaned up.
City Inspector for the KSAMC, Alric Francis, maintains the landowner has been warned to clear the space on several occasions.
We would have served notice on the particular landowner, several notices as a matter of fact, and to date wait, no compliance. It is actually a dire situation because you have toddlers and youngsters who both go to primary and high school that is affected.
Principal for the Tarrant Primary School, Deja Raffington, says the overgrowth and unsafe environment affects the school's population.
We are now struggling to keep a little over 200. We have children coming and going, and violence is affecting it.
Raffington highlights that the issue is compounded by a breach in the school's perimeter.
Whenever it rains, it causes more erosion. So we had a breach in security the other day where a young man actually walked through the opening and was standing at the back of the school there. So we tried our best and we tried to fill, but it really needs some attention.
Adrian Williams for CVM News.
Stay with us for more CVM News at 7 in a moment.
Hey everybody, I'm Yendi, and this is Odyssey with Yendi. In this space, we connect with some of your favorite people as they share their journeys. Here we have some unfiltered conversations as we deep dive into their inspirations, motivations, and experiences to inspire our own life journey.
Brought to you by Grace. Make a good move today.
So this is our Star Savers Day at the Homewood Technical High School.
It is important that our teens are educated on the importance of money management skills.
We're also having lots of fun activities, prizes, giveaways, opening up accounts for students. And for each student that we open an account for, we will give them $1,000.
Thank you, Secretary of Star Savers!
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends, who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we're redefining what real connection is, prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. Flow customers, get your $20,000 supermarket card when you add postpaid mobile for only $3,700 plus GCT to your current internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
Welcome back. Well, more controversial claims have surfaced concerning the Cornwall Regional Hospital in St. James. Information reaching our newsroom from staff and patients at the facility now under rehabilitation is that mold has again been found in a section of the building. Not only are some claiming they've fallen ill, but they allege there's been little to no intervention from the administrators, something the hospital's CEO is staunchly refuting. Concerns continue to mount at the Cornwall Regional Hospital in St. James as alleged mold exposure in a section of the facility appears to be affecting staff and patients alike. Reports reaching our newsroom suggest that some employees have been forced to stay away from work due to symptoms linked to the contamination. For weeks, warnings were allegedly raised. Some staff members say they began feeling ill, but dismissed it at first. Others claim they felt little to nothing despite prolonged exposure. Now, with some of the affected sections only just being closed off, questions are surfacing about how long the issue was known and why action took so long. Hospital sources reveal increasing complaints of respiratory distress, skin irritation, and fatigue among both workers and patients. Fear has gripped some staff in the affected areas who refrained from complaining, allegedly hoping to not appear mischievous. However, when CVM News spoke with the hospital's CEO, she insists the hospital's been managing the risks associated with the mold that was first detected on several wards back in 2018. That's when operations first scaled down. Since then, they've retrofitted and used the nurses' quarters for medical care, the alleged current area so exposed.
From time to time, people complain about the space and the air and so on. What we do is consistently treat with. So it is not something that it is put aside or we don't pay attention to. That's why we have occupational health and safety officers on the campus. So it is something that we are monitoring because it is a construction site. We're constructing a hospital, we're doing car park, we're renovating one. And so things are going to happen. And so that's why we manage and monitor what is happening in this space.
She also countered claims that it was unsafe for staff or patients, remarking they also do air quality control tests and provide a space for staff to get medical attention should they feel unwell. She adds if staff feel unwell, they have health and safety officers they can also call, and deep cleaning is done regularly. Dr. Peter Phillips made his contribution to the 2025 sectoral debate with a speech titled Championing Change with Lessons from History, during which he honed in on the sense of collective purpose required of the House and citizens of the nation if the ambitions of Jamaicans are to be realized.
In what is likely to be his final contribution to a sectoral debate, having served for 31 consecutive years in the nation's parliament. MP for St Andrew East Central and former leader of the People's National Party, Dr. Peter Phillips, shared the lessons he has learned on the processes of governance during the course of his political career.
The overarching lesson of our years as an independent nation lies in the fact that all our great accomplishments as a nation have been the result of our collective endeavors. Nothing highlights this more, to my mind, than our efforts to reduce public debt and achieve sustained economic growth. The latter part of that mission has not yet been achieved. We have not secured high levels of economic growth necessary to deliver on the aspirations of the Jamaican people.
Having served as Minister of Finance and Planning from 2012 to 2016 and as Minister of National Security between 2002 and 2007, Dr. Phillips also spoke to the importance of integrity and trust.
The integrity of the political leadership of the country must not be in doubt. It is vital if we are to build trust. That is why, Mr. Speaker, I am not proclaiming that the Integrity Commission is right in all they do or supporting this or that, but I am saying that if we are to mobilize people to achieve great things, they must believe that us collectively are people of honor, goodwill, and trustworthy. We, as much as anybody else, need an integrity commission that works, because it is that which will assure the country that we inside here are people who can be trusted by and large. And we need that because we do as much damage to each other with allegations as anybody else. So we need the independent body, but that body needs to function.
And as his time to close neared,
I see a hole in your hammer. Hold on. I crave your indulgence, Mr. Speaker.
the 75-year-old shared a heartfelt message to the nation before being surrounded in congratulations by his colleagues of the House.
It has been a privilege to have been a part of this House, often misunderstood by persons on the outside, often demeaned by ourselves on occasion, but generally we have pursued the interests of the Jamaican people. I want to thank God Almighty and all my friends in the Parliament, past and present, for the opportunity to have served. May God bless you all in your endeavors as you go forward. and may God bless Jamaica. Land.
Joel Crosskill, CVM News.
Jamaica Labour Party JLP Chairman Robert Montague could face a tough re-election if the 2024 local government results are an indication of how voters in St. Mary Western are feeling. Here now is Andre Jebinson with Numbers Don't Lie.
Robert Montague, the chairman of the Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, finds himself in a precarious position in his St. Mary Western constituency. Historically, Montague has been a formidable figure at the local and constituency levels and within his party. In the 2020 general elections, Montague showed his prowess by winning all 5 divisions within St. Mary Western. However, the 2024 local government elections was a stark reversal. Although Montague did not appear on the ballot, the JLP suffered losses in 3 of 5 divisions, most notably in Gale and Boscobel. This decline has prompted analysts and political strategists to scrutinize whether these results are an anomaly or vulnerability. Montague first won the seat in 2007 by defeating the PNP's Delano Franklin with a margin of 767 votes. His political journey took a downturn when he surprisingly lost to Jolly and Silvera in 2011 by just 227 votes. Montague made a remarkable comeback in 2016, reclaiming his seat with an increased vote count and an impressive margin. The most recent general election saw Montague returning to what could be considered normal voting numbers for his constituency in 2020. However, he still managed to secure a significant margin. Questions now linger about whether the trend observed during the local government elections in 2024 will carry over into decision 2025. Montague believes his established reputation and previous successes will help him, while newcomer Omar Woodbine says he represents a shift towards change among constituents who may be seeking new leadership. Since Jamaica gained independence in 1962, the JLP has won St. Mary Western 7 times, compared to 5 victories for the PNP. Andre Jebinson, CVM News.
More to come after the break, so stay with us.
We see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we're redefining what real connection is, prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. Flow customers, get your $20,000 supermarket card when you add postpaid mobile for only $3,700 plus GCT to your current internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
IT and Fancy Cat Show. Who the singer? And get ready, and when you get ready, let's go, go, go.
I to start.
Girl, you pass, so they look good. Exam, me have to give you a sticky. Me no get wrong, but
feelings are care for you because you will take life. Feelings are care for you. When we go to school, me little and fine.
Start again. Pause again.
Then you will Admiral Bailey trick me with.
You see yourself following him down the Christian walk.
And when them tell me, say, God call him, that's a when.
Yeah, man. I want you, man.
Come on the party.
The Cut, brought to you by Flow.
Welcome back. Health workers are still taking a stand after a fellow nurse was violently assaulted in a road rage incident last week, this time at the Cornwall Regional Hospital. Their protests continue as the accused businessman was today denied bail in court. Shante McNeil has that story.
A week after a nurse was brutally attacked in a road rage incident in St. Andrew, nurses and healthcare workers at the Cornwall Regional Hospital remain firm in their stance against gender-based violence. Captured on camera, the altercation has sparked island-wide outrage and ignited protest that began Monday and continued into Wednesday. The nurses say their protest will not end until they are satisfied that justice has been served.
We have to stand together. We have to stand together as nurses. We have to stand together as women, because what happened to her could have happened to any one of us. Once we get that directive, say continue, we will continue, because there's no excuse for abuse, and we have to stand in solidarity.
In the gun court division at the Supreme Court on Wednesday, businessman Robert Bell, accused in the attack, was denied bail. Bell faces multiple charges, including assault, occasioning actual bodily harm, assault with intent to cause grievous bodily harm, assault at common law, and possession of a firearm with intent to commit a scheduled offense. Presiding Judge Lorna Shelley Williams cited public safety concerns and backlash in her decision to deny bail. Bell's attorney, Christopher Townsend, says he plans to reapply once relevant legal documents are secured. Nurses say the ordeal has left emotional scars that won't fade anytime soon, and while agreeing with popular views that Bell should be subjected to stern penalties, one nurse believes it's time to get back to basics.
We have to get more people on board to support our women. With the adage that we have, that it takes a village to raise a child, I think we need to get back to that. Because when we have everybody supporting each other, protecting each other, we can be a better community, a better country on a whole.
Bell is set to return to court on July 9. Shante McNeil, CVM News.
Mayor of Lucy, Sheridan Samuels, lambasted the Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Desmond McKenzie, over his unfulfilled promise to provide water tanks to residents of Hanover. Mayor Samuels says Minister McKenzie made the promise 7 years ago. He was speaking at the grand launch of the Rainwater Initiative for Sustainability and Empowerment, RISE, where a citizen organization donated a tank to one struggling resident. The launch took place at the Hanover Municipal Corporation. More details in this report.
Lucy's mayor, Sheridan Samuels, says 7 years ago, Minister of Local Government and Community Development, Desmond McKenzie, promised to supply residents of drought-stricken Hanover with water tanks. Minister McKenzie allegedly failed to deliver on his promise, which left Hanover residents hunting for a solution to their lack of water.
We are faced with a lot of people running to us, and we don't have the resources to really give to them to ensure that they, can go and get a proper bath, have water to cook. We have been waiting since about 2017, 2018 in those regions. We have been waiting for these 10 black tanks. We sat and we watched members of parliament receive thousands of tanks. And we are still awaiting the 10 tanks that were promised to us.
The Rainwater Initiative for Sustainability and Empowerment, RISE, delivered hope to one resident on Tuesday. Founder Tiana Dinham and her team donated a water tank. Mayor Samuels welcomes this collaboration, adding this donation has reduced the total promised by Minister McKenzie 7 years ago.
The tank that we are receiving from Tiana, from RISE, now, is one less than what was promised to us 7 years ago. And if the politicians that have the power have the heart of what Tiana had, then they would realize that Hanover need the councillors of the municipal corporation really need all these promises that were made to us. Because the people out there are relying on us.
RISE has the objective to provide a solution for water shortage in Hanover while educating residents on how to make their water safe. Consequently, Dinham partnered with the health department in issuing chlorine to help treat rainwater. RISE has donated chlorine to 3 schools in the parish, including the Maryland Primary and Infant School and the Upper Rock Spring Primary.
Growing up in Maryland,
I saw firsthand what rainwater insecurity looks like. I saw families walk long distance with buckets on their heads. I saw pipes run dry. I saw people drinking water no one had tested, just hoping it was safe. Many schools in rural Hannibal depend solely on rainwater harvesting. If that water is untreated, the risk to students' health is real.
Adrian Williams for CVM News.
We have plenty more to come after the break.
Crispy barbecue zinger from KFC. Available for a limited time. KFC, it's finger licking good.
The time by KFC is...
The craving that makes everything crunch. The crispy barbecue zinger is back with barbecue sauce, cheddar cheese, bacon, and crispy onions. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Hey everybody, I'm Yendi, and this is Odyssey with Yendi. In this space, we connect with some of your favorite people as they share their journeys. Here we have some unfiltered conversations as we deep dive into their inspirations, motivations, and experiences to inspire our own life journey.
Brought to you by Grace. Make a good move today. In a world where innovation meets tradition, agriculture is evolving like never before. From the latest sustainable farming technologies to age-old practices passed down through generation, agriculture is
precious to me.
I love the animals. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. I love working.
Join us right here on CVM TV every Sunday during news at 7 as we explore the people, the science, and the breakthroughs that are shaping the way we grow, eat, and live. You don't want to miss it. This is Farming Forward.
Thanks so much for staying with us. We are now being joined by Jordan Fort, who knows what's to come in sports.
Oh, well, Nika, we are preparing you for that grand final, Cavalier versus Mount Pleasant, the third season in a row in the Jamaica Premier League. Of course, we're continuing our build-up tonight. We'll have more build-up tomorrow night, and the final, of course, is on Friday. Tonight, we'll be previewing Cavalier Plus. Not a good day for West Indies cricket fans. Men and women both losing on their tour in the United Kingdom. That and more in sports.
I'm not even sure if I want to watch sports, but you should watch. So to the business report now with Joel Crosskill.
Lots to share with you in the business report today. Coming out of the Planning Institute of Jamaica's review of economic performance January to March 2025, Chairman and Director General of the Planning Institute of Jamaica, Dr. Wayne Henry, concludes that the preliminary data presented on economic performance for the quarter indicates that the economy continued to recover from the effects of hydrological shocks during the latter half of 2024.
Today, we are reporting that real value added for the Jamaican economy grew by an estimated 0.8% in the January to March 2025 quarter, compared with the corresponding quarter of 2024.
The goods producing industry grew by an estimated 1%, compared with the corresponding quarter of 2024. Real value added for the manufacturing industry was estimated to have grown by 1.4%.
The petroleum component is estimated to have grown, led by gasoline up 10%, fuel oil up 11.6%, and automotive diesel oil up 27.1%.
Real value added for construction grew by 1.5%, reflecting growth in the building construction and other construction components.
The performance of the building construction component was pushed by a 2,355.6% growth in housing starts by the NHT. Cement supply to the industry increased by 3%, reflecting a 164% increase in imports. The estimated growth in the other construction component was due to increased capital expenditure on civil engineering activities by National Works Agency, up 234.2% to $1.3 billion, reflecting higher expenditure on the Southern Coastal Highway Improvement Project, SCHIP, and the Major Infrastructure Development Program, MIDP. Port Authority of Jamaica, up 632.1% to $3.9 billion due to construction works on the Caymanas Special Economic Zone and the Ocho Rios and Falmouth cruise terminals.
Meanwhile, real value added for transport, storage and communication grew by 1.8%.
The growth reflected the net effect of growth in the maritime transport subcomponent, reflecting higher cargo volume, up 3.8%, due to increases in cargo handled at both the Port of Kingston, which was up 1.9%, and outports, which was up 11.9%. This reflected growth in both domestic cargo, up 9.7%, and transshipment cargo, up 0.1%. Also, contraction was evidenced in the air transport component, largely reflecting decreased passenger movements, down 4.2%, due to arrivals, down 4.5%, and departures, down 3.5%.
However, due to an estimated increase in the average length of stay to 7.8 nights per foreign national visitor relative to 7.4 nights in the corresponding quarter of 2024, there was an increase of 3% in total visitor expenditure for January 2025 to US $456.2 million, despite a fall in visitor arrivals for that month. Preliminary data on airport arrivals for April 2025 indicate an increase of 5.3% relative to April 2024, largely due to the hosting of activities associated with the Easter holidays, spring break, and carnival celebrations in April 2025. Dr. Henry also spoke of the short-term economic outlook.
The projection for fiscal year 2025-26 is for growth within the range of 1% to 2%. All industries are forecast to record growth, as recovery from the weather-related shocks in 2024 will become more pronounced in the latter half of calendar year 2025.
And that was your business report. I'm Joel Crosskill.
A look now at what's happening on social media.
So, what's trending in our local social media spaces today? Residents of Grand Pen in St. Andrews staged a fiery protest, blocking roads with debris and burning garbage after a man was allegedly shot and killed by police in the community. Here are some of your reactions. At marvelous_row_3_6_9 post, so only when man unalive on a black road, move. At Crazy J comments, these communities have all things set aside for when it's time to protest. At Nicolia one writes, when they're supposed to block the road, they are not blocking it for children, but they're blocking it for the gunmen. At _El Razo says, I wish people put the same effort into finding a job. At Fran_Sin.Pal adds, sometimes I wonder if it's something the people in the community have to do because the Donner gunmen will hurt them, or something else, because I don't understand. At Gab.22 says, an innocent young man was killed by the very people who were supposed to protect him. The community has every right to be angry, to mourn, and to demand justice. This is not just about one life, it's about a system that keeps failing us. At Kimi_AR.Johns shares, when them behave so we know it's real bad man get put out. Well done, Team JCF. And that's what's trending online in our